Well, not much has changed since the last time I posted. At least nothing has really changed for the better. Unfortunately, I still have this haziness kind of over my dream recall. I struggle to remember my dreams. Um, I still record them from time to time. Probably a little bit more in my, on paper, but I just, I haven't really felt like I should. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if it's really worth me posting on YouTube. But since this was like a brief lucid experience, I figured I'd go ahead and post a new video. I I watched a video last night. A young guy from New York. His name was Austin. It was channel was Let's Get It, or XX Let's Get It. So it was interesting. He had a few dreams posted, and one of them was a lucid dream. And so I was basically hoping that by watching that, just by hearing about dreams, hearing about lucid dreams, that I'll kind of trigger something in my mind that I would hopefully have another one. I've heard people say, I heard in the Burgess book, he said, a lot of people have a lucid dream after the first time they have a conversation about it, and it just kind of gets things rolling in their head. So, to give a little bit of a backstory here. Okay, one, in reality, I worked for a halfway house, basically, for mentally retarded, developmentally disabled guys who are offenders. So most of them are like sex offenders. But I started school recently, so I haven't really been working there anymore. And people called me. Actually, yesterday 2 people called me, and then early this morning, my boss called me at 8 o'clock to see if I wanted to work. I declined because I'm just like, I'm in school and I need to get reading done. I need to be reading right now. But anyway, what's funny is that right before he called me, I was having a dream where I was driving up to that job, to that house. Some weird thing with some guy driving a truck up, and there was all this trash, and he was like trying to get scrap metal or something, and I pulled my truck up. I don't have a truck. I pulled my truck up to the front door, and I was about to get out, and then my phone rings and wakes me up. In reality, my phone rings and wakes me up. And that was kind of crazy. So anyway, I got up and for a second and struggled for the next 45 minutes to go back to sleep. Eventually, I made it back to sleep, and prior to that, I had some dreams which I struggled to remember, but that's not really relevant to the video necessarily, because in this dream I was at work. So and I noticed, more so in retrospect, but the whole feeling of the dream was different. Like, I felt more present in the dream. Recently, most of the dreams I've been having over the past several months, unfortunately, have been a lot more vague and more like I was told about this or I saw this than I was actually in this and experiencing this. More so I was in this environment. I just kind of more almost like I watched it in a way. Just felt a lot less in the dream. So this was different. I really felt like a lot more like I was there, like I was in my in my workplace, and some of the guys were there. There was a lot of new staff there, though I didn't know really. I remember one guy that I do know, he was there, and I saw him in there, and I'm asking him, where's he at? And he's like, he's downstairs. I don't know, sometimes it's like, you don't want to talk about people's personal details around the other clients. So yeah, he was like, well, he's downstairs, whatever, but kind of like, I'll tell you later. Anyway, so then I'm in the dining room and he sneaks off. He's supposed to be like 24-hour like supervision, like one-on-one all the time, but it's understandably annoying to do that for us and for him, and he sneaks off a lot of times. So he sneaks off, and I went off, and I followed him, and he was outside with this new guy who I didn't recognize, and there was this weird feeling there, like I couldn't look at him, and I was also having trouble talking. I was like yelling telling him to come back inside, but it was like I was struggling to get the words out, almost like I've had in some of my other dreams. I've mentioned how it's like you're trying to talk, but your voice is kind of muffled. And for me, it's like I actually end up trying to yell out. So I'm trying so hard that I actually do yell it out in real life and freak people out around me or whatever and wake myself up. It was kind of like that kind of thing. So eventually he comes back in and we're inside. I go into the office and there's like these drawers in there, which are, I guess, really supposed to represent the mailboxes that we have. And it was like, mine was like, it looked a lot more like aggressive than it did like the mailboxes at work. But it was like my stuff had been pushed to the side. Anyway, so moving on. I was talking to one of my coworkers, Cliff, and I don't know, we were just talking, and I was like, it just kind of, I was kind of stressed out, and I didn't like that I was there, and I was thinking, like, why am I here? And I started thinking about the fact that I talked to my boss, and I said I wasn't coming in. So I'm like, why am I here right now? I'm not supposed to be here. And I guess that began to trigger, trigger something in my consciousness that was like, okay, this is a dream. And this lucidity began to come on, I guess. And so yeah, a matter of seconds, I guess I was convinced that I was dreaming. I didn't really do any checks or anything like that. I guess I was just pretty much convinced. And so I was thinking back to Austin's video and how he said he flew, and I think sometimes maybe I'm too cautious because I have this mentality that lucid dreaming is hard and I don't want to do this or that and end up falling out of lucidity or waking up. So I'm like maybe too careful, and I'm like, am I not just putting restrictions on myself by thinking, well, this is hard, I can't do this? So like, no, F that, just try, just fly. Don't take these baby steps, just fly. And I mean, I think Reese and other people said stuff like that too. It's like, these dreams, they're what you make of them. So if you have the mentality that it's hard to do this or I can't do this, then it will be. So anyway, to try to get out of that like self-defeating mind state, I'm like, I'm gonna fly. Didn't work though. Anyway, not that discouraged. I'm like, whatever, I'll go outside. At this point, I'm at my grandmother's house. I'm no longer at work. I'm like in my grandmother's back room or dining or living room. And so I'm like, well, I'll just go outside. Maybe sometimes I feel like, well, if I go outside, who knows what'll be outside? It'll be something nice. It's usually not. But anyway, I'll go outside, and I really remember what it was. I guess it was pretty plain. I didn't like it, so I was like, well, I'll close my eyes and hopefully I'll be somewhere better. So I did that. And at that point, I don't remember what happened when I opened my eyes. I know that very soon after that, I woke up. But later on, when I definitely did wake up, I questioned whether or not that was a real wake up or a false wake up. And I'm like, man, I really need to get back into, the routine of doing state checks and all of that, because if I was in the routine to know, every time I wake up, do the state check, that I would have done it, and I could have stayed in that dream and possibly stayed lucid. But at any rate, either I woke up or I false woke up. Either way, that dream ended. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm glad I had it. I mean, however brief it was, it's better than nothing. Which many morning I wake up feeling like nothing. I had no dreams at all. So yeah, I mean, it was cool, I guess. I guess that's about it. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. I mean, it was pretty brief, interesting, but brief. I guess that's about it. And hopefully there will be more to come. Thanks everybody for posting your dreams. It's I think it can be inspiring in a way, and helps to get you in a certain mind state. Could be coincidence, maybe not, but I watched that hoping I'd have a lucid dream, and however mediocre it was a lucid experience. And yeah, so hopefully more to come soon, and I won't wake up in so much darkness. Anyway, guess that's it.